All right, Baruch Hashem. Just a quick disclaimer: every yid's a big tzaddik. That's how we're going to get started today. Just need to know that. Baruch Hashem. We're going to continue our learning in the gates of the Baal Shem Tov, Sha'arei Baal Shem Tov. We are on page Reish Yud Bet, Rebbe, and we're in the idea of connecting to Hashem right now where you're at. Rizat Hashem, we'll learn this teaching from the Digal Machanei Ephraim. We've learned this before, but here it's going to come in a little bit of a different aspect. Again, we're in this general concept of no matter where you are in life, no matter what situation, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you have to connect. You have to use everything you can in your life, whatever you see, to connect to Hashem. So on that idea, we're going to learn from the Pasuk, Ele Mas'ei B'nai Yisrael. These are the journeys of the children of Israel. We learn about this in Parashat Bamidbar, all the 42 journeys that the nation of Israel took from Egypt in order to get to this holy, beautiful, gorgeous land of Israel. And the Baal Shem Tov said, Ki kol ha'masaot hayu membet. All of these journeys were 42. V'hem etzel kol adam miyom hivaldo ad shuv'o el olamo. All of these journeys, right? Again, the Hasidic masters, especially the Baal Shem Tov, wanted us to take the Torah and understand the Torah in an internal way as well. Never to separate it from its simple meaning of the history of the fact that Am Yisrael walked all these 42 journeys. But what does it mean for me as a Jew now? As a person nowadays, what am I meant to learn from the journeys of Israel? So, from the day you're born until the day you die, those are these 42 journeys. In order to understand all this, from the day of birth and when you come out of the womb of your mother, that's Yetziat Mitzrayim. That's the exodus of Egypt, that's walking out of the land of Egypt. Afterwards, you travel from journey to journey until you come to the land of life, the supernal land of life, which is up above, after 120. Like we said, Al Pi Hashem Yichanu, Al Pi Hashem Yisau. According to Hashem's word, they rested. According to Hashem's word, they traveled. Kihu B'chinat Katnut V'Gadlut. That's Katnut and Gadlut. The easy times in life, the hard times in life. According to Hashem, you rest. According to Hashem, you travel. Meaning sometimes you're going to have good days, sometimes you're going to have bad days. It's all according to Hashem. It's all from Hashem. I also heard from a special person that these 42 journeys, this is the aspect of the counting that we have of the name of Membet, the name of 42. שמלילה ראשונה של פסח עד חג השבועות, שהוא שלמות בקבלת התורה, אף על פי שמ"ט יום, כל שבוע הוא בחינת אחד הכוללת כידוע. ושלושם הם מ"ב. So from Pesach until Shavuot, we count the Sphira, which is 49 days. And every single week, right, even though it's 49 days, every single week is one aspect that includes everything, right? The week of Chesed. Chesed, you have Gvura shebechesed, Tiferet shebechesed, Netzach shebechesed. You have everything inside that 1 week as well. And they're rooted in 42. And these are all in correspondence to these 42 journeys that we're talking about here. Why do we have to know about all the journeys? By the way, we were in the desert for 40 years. There's 42 journeys. And all of those journeys only happened in like 2 years. 38 years out of the 40 years we're in the desert, we were sitting stationary, didn't move. Right? So why did the Torah tell us about all of these journeys? Because this is the path, showing the Torah is teaching us the straight path that every single Jew should go on. To know the straight path and what you should go through your whole entire life. To travel from journey to journey, from event in your life to event in your life, from period in your life to period in your life, stages in life that we all know of. And all of these journeys are Kedoshim, Torim, they're holy, they're pure. Like the Baal Shem Tov said as well. And there's a book called Brit Minucha. There it explains, right, what are the names of these different places that we went. If we look in the Torah, you can open up to Bamidbar. Vayikra Bamidbar to Parashat Mas'ei. It's the 33rd chapter of Bamidbar. It says these are the journeys of Bnei Israel. Asher yatzu me'eretz Mitzrayim. They left out of Egypt. B'yad Moshe and Aaron, in the hands of Moshe and Aaron. And Moshe writes everything. They went from Ramses, from Mitzrayim. They went to Ramses. From Ramses to Sukkot. Sukkot, they rested in Etam, in the end of the desert. They went from Etam to Piachirot. Then from Baal Tzafon, they went to Migdol. They went from Pnei Achirot, they went into the water in the Midbar. And they went for 3 days, and they rested in Marah. And from Marah, they went to Elima. Elim, Shtei Mesre Einot, there was 12 well springs there. They rested there, and then they went from Elim, they went to, according to Yam Suf. From Yam Suf, they went to Midbar Sin. All of these different things that are going on, right? Each name that they have, each one is coming to teach us a different thing in Pnimiyut. When you see them, some of them, they look like names of places, and some of them are like really like, why is that place named that? One of them, for example, is what we're going to learn about right here. Kivrot Ta'ava. One of the places that they went to is called Kivrot Ta'ava, the graves of lust. That's a place in the desert. What does that mean, the graves of lust? That's the aspect of Chokhmah. Kisham kavu et ha'am ha'mita'avi'im. That's where they buried the nation that was yearning and lusting. There's a whole bunch of people that from so much lust for meat, for watermelon, for the natural goods of this world, they so to say were buried in kivot ha'tava. They got buried in their lust. So this also, you can understand this, that in life we have lust, right? But we can't let those things become our burial. We have to bury the lust, not that the lust buries us. Meaning the Baal Shem Tov is teaching us, whoever can reach the level of Chokhmah, if you can reach a level of Chokhmah, of Chokhmat Hashem, then you're able to go all the way to a point where you can nullify all of your lusts. If you can reach Chokhmah, Chokhmah is the work of Bitul, of nullification to Hashem, seeing Hashem in everything. First Torah of Likutei Moharan, to see the spirituality in everything. When you get there and you're seeing God everywhere, so then you don't have lusts. You don't have lust. You're not filled with lust because you see Hashem everywhere. So you're not lusting for this world. You're trying to connect to Hashem. So that's where they got buried. Mirov dvekuto bo yitbarach shemo. They had such dvekut to Hashem that all of their lusts got buried there. We understand from all of these journeys that for sure, every journey, everything that you go through in life is a whole lofty thing. It's not just you went from here to there. There's many, many ideas that are hidden between all of the journeys that a person goes through in life. There's another place called Tavera. Tavera is for sure a place called a holy place. Tavera is like a fire, a burning fire. Hashem bless you, Moshe. When they got to these holy places, everything changed by way of their actions. Everything changed to not be good. They could have hit these places and it would have fixed everything. Meaning they got to Kivot HaTava, they would have lost their lust from such nullification to Hashem. They got to a place called Tavera, they would have got such a fire of Binah and pushing and yearning for Hashem and the ability to push forward. But because of their actions, every place that they hit, it became the opposite. Like it says in the Torah, Kivot HaTava, Kisham Kavru, that's where they buried. So to the rest of the Masaot, the rest of the journeys, you understand according to the name of them. Tavera, why Tavera? Why is it called Tavera? Ki bara bam esh Hashem. There was a burning fire of Hashem there, so the place is called Tavera. If they would have came to all of these journeys and not changed anything by way of their own actions, every single journey for sure would have illuminated them with the hidden light of Hashem that's inside of it. And it would have been enough. Meaning, let's finish it off and let's see if we can wrap it up. Ve'hu she'amar ha'katuv. This is what the Torah says. Ele mas'ei b'nei Yisrael, and it finishes off, Yichtov Moshe motzaim le'maseim al pi Hashem. These are the journeys of Israel, and Moshe wrote everywhere they left from on their journeys according to the mouth of Hashem, according to the word of Hashem. What does that mean? Moshe wrote in the Torah all of the Masa'ot, all of the journeys. How are they al pi Hashem? How are they? Where did they come from? Where are they rooted in such a lofty place, in the highest places possible? From the time that you left your mother's womb, aka Yetziat Mitzrayim, the Exodus of Egypt, until you reach the supernal life, the supernal land of life up above. So that you know how to go. But these are their journeys according to where they came out from, meaning, how did they change it with their ma'asehem, with their actions, to become not good places? Therefore, when Moshe writes it, it doesn't say according to the mouth of Hashem. Hashem teaches the true path. This is extremely important. I want to just say something to take away from all of this. Everything you have set up for you in your life, everything you're going to come across, everything you're going to experience is godly. It's from Hashem. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter if it's by way of the Torah, against the Torah. It doesn't matter what it is that you're experiencing and whether we say it's good or bad. The truth is that it's from Hashem. The only thing that will change it and remove the God consciousness from that event, from that occurrence, from that situation that you find yourself in, is your actions. If your actions stay loyal to Hashem, then you'll find in a certain place how that thing was connected to Hashem, and not only that, it will help you elevate to a higher place. It will help you bury your lust. It will help you to get a fire for Hashem. But if we get to a place of lust and our actions are not attached to Hashem, so then we go into the lust and we get buried. We get to a place of the fire of Hashem and we don't connect to a place of getting pure and refined and rectified and being able to now burn off of our bad. We might take that same fire and use it in negative places. Everything is from Hashem. The only thing that could change it is your actions. So give a bracha, Bezat Hashem, that we'll be able to recognize it, that we're on 42 journey mission from the time of birth until we pass away. 42 is also Ana Bechoach. Rav Nechunia ben Akana is buried not far from here in Tzfat. He wrote the poem Ana Bechoach. Ana Bechoach is 7 lines. Each of them has 6 words in it. And together there's 42 names of Hashem that are mentioned there, or the name of 42. And we say that every time we want to ascend in prayer. Every time we want an ascension in prayer, we say Ana Bechoach. So too, what is 42 then? If not the name of ascension. And our whole entire purpose of being in this world is to ascend to a higher place in the world to come. Bezat Hashem, may we all get there, and may we all have joy doing it. Siyata Dishmaya.